Badminton finals day with two finals down. The mixed doubles, which went to Chris Adcock and Gabby Adcock, and to the number 2 seed in the women's singles, Nicola Serpentine, taking her second title since her first in 2011. To the action from the men's singles now. The third final of the day between the 19-year-old Sam Parsons from Coventry and the 13-year-old veteran of the men's singles in the UK, Andrew Smith, originally from Portsmouth, now playing out in New York of all places. He's been training in Malaysia for many, many years, and strangely, Nathan, not really ever been part of the GB system.
No, he hasn't. I think he's a complicated character, certainly for the coaches to get a handle on. He's a unique character who likes to do his own things, his own training, and he had success in some way doing that, reaching an Olympics. You know, he was never really one for the national championships, and you know, often avoided this tournament, but entered this year, and now he's in the final. And I'd say he's favourite if we see, you know, the real Andrew Smith turn up.
Well, you're right, Nathan. Hasn't played this tournament for 5 years. He was obviously a good friend of ours on the world tour. We travelled around together, sharing rooms together, going for meals together. He never really thought about the national championships as being that high profile for him.
No, he didn't. He was always more focused on tournaments around the globe, ranking points, maintaining a high enough ranking that he'd get himself into the biggest tournaments. But he's back, he's in England, he's playing the nationals, he's training in New York. That sounds nice. But he's got a tough job on his hands today. Returning finalist Sam Parsons, really a good prospect for the future.
Now there's the schedule for the finals today. Like I say, we've had the first two finals. This is the men's singles between Sam Parsons and Andrew Smith, and yet to come the fourth match, the women's doubles, Oliver and Smith against Moore and Williams, and the final of the day will be the men's doubles between Matt Nottingham and Harley Towler, Marcus Ellis and Chris Langridge. Now the man in the chair, the umpire for this men's singles, Alan Crowe. Sam Parsons, the 19-year-old from Coventry, twice winner of the boys under 19 national singles, reached the final here last year as a junior, which is an incredible achievement. So far this tournament has taken out his teammate Toby Penty, and that was a great result for him, Nathan, taking out the taller man.
It was, yes. And he also did that in last year's national championships in the semi-final, beat higher ranked, higher seeded Toby Penty. And last year's nationals final will, you know, hold Sam Parsons in good start. He really got a lesson last year from Rajiv Youssef. You know, he got dominated in the final last year, got beaten easily. But that experience alone of being in the nationals final will just mean that this year's nerves will be slightly less pressure, and hopefully he can really play his best today in the final.
Well, he's certainly up against another tough opponent here today. Andrew Smith has won titles in New Zealand, Australia, Croatia, the Vietnam Open. Also semi-finalist in a Super Series in Singapore many years ago. But still, I spoke to him yesterday, he's taken out one of the players recently in the top 20 in the world. So his level is very high, but the most bizarre situation late last evening, he almost didn't turn up for the semi-final in the first game, played an awful game of badminton, and then just cruised through the match.
He did, against Alex Lane, an upcoming prospect in the England squad. The first set, he looked lackadaisical, lazy, gave the set away easy, suddenly boosted his energy levels, his performance, and took the next two games easily. But his weapons are clearly for Smith. His net play is so tight, and he has a very, very large smash.
Well, one thing I noticed throughout this tournament with Andrew Smith, just the sound of which the shuttle comes off the strings. You can tell that the timing is there, and you can almost feel the quality about his game. Good early net play from Sam Parsons. Good retriever, good strong legs, Parsons, for a young man working with his uncle, Steve Butler, former national champion, and a great player in the past, Steve Butler. one of the toughest competitors in world badminton. And I think he's installed quite a lot of that into, his nephew, Sam.
Parsons has got a lot of the same characteristics as his uncle Steve, who was known as a dogged runner, a fighter, a real grafter on court. Parsons has got that as well. He hasn't got the big weapons overhead, the big smash, but he will work hard, and you'll see he'll fight every single point in this final.
But not so important having a massive smash in men's singles, Nathan.
Certainly, I would say more accuracy in singles. Doubles, yes, it's about power and accuracy, but power is so useful in doubles. In singles, you'd say that the majority of the top players maybe only use 80% of their power on their smashing, and they're more about the accuracy, just aiming inside the lines.
Well, I actually think Andrew Smith probably has the hardest smash in men's singles. He must be up there with the top few, that's for sure. But not up there with some of the doubles players like Fu Haifeng, who hit the world record shot at 206 miles an hour. But it's Smith who started well. Certainly not like yesterday's semi-final. He's come out the blocks flying.
5-1.
And really, Nathan, if we're honest, he is the big favourite for this match, if he produces what he's capable of.
100% the big favourite. If mentally he's in the right frame of mind, if he's being positive, which is how he started. That one drifts wide.
2-5.
I don't know about you, Anthony, but I'm not sure about the new fashion of these. I think they're called protective socks you wear, and normally they're worn after competition. But we've seen a few players in this tournament now wearing them during competition under their normal white socks.
Well, apparently they compress the legs, which obviously gives more blood to the area, keeps them warm, stops you getting injured. I can see the idea. I can't say we've ever worn a pair of those. I think I would look a little bit silly in them, only being 5'8". More sort of thing we see with basketballers in the NBL in America. Who's to say they don't work unless you've tried them?
4-6.
Well, no one's going to be saying it looks a bit funny if he's standing there with the national champion trophy at the end of this game.
3 mistakes on the trot from Smith.
5-6.
Neither player really flowing into this game. Good defence from Parsons. And that goes wide.
He'll be frustrated to miss that. He'd done so well on defence. Parsons in the rally.
7-5.
All he really needed to do was to just keep the rally going there. Maintain. He's got to be feeling that he's fitter than Andrew Smith, Sam Parsons, and that if the rallies go long, if the match goes long, he's going to have a better and better chance the longer this match goes.
Well, if Sam Parsons anything like his uncle Steve Butler, would definitely have big lungs and a big heart. And the longer the match goes on, I think I'll have to agree, Nathan.
Thank you,
We'll
Andrew.
go in his favour. But I still think Andrew Smith's training will allow him to go to 3 games, no problems. He certainly did last night. The big power smash into the net.
Service over.
Smith looks to the lights.
7.
Wild cross-court smash
7
from Andrew Smith. A bit like the last singles, Nathan. You've got the steady Eddie against the total attacker. And in this game so far, it's either a winner or an error from Smith.
Often is the case. You get a contrast of styles in a final. You get the attacker against the defender. And that always normally makes for the best style of finals because you know exactly the tactics that are going to be played. As a player, Parsons knows he's going to be on the defence. He knows he's going to be scrambling a lot. But there he shows his prowess on attack. Fantastic smash down the line.
9-7.
Well, we said he didn't possess the hardest smash, but that one came down very vicious indeed.
Great athleticism into the round the head corner. You can see leaping out. Perfect movement. But the short clear by Parsons leaves Smith the open court, cross court, puts it away.
Now, from the stats that we found, Nathan, Andrew Smith highest ranking, as high as 26 in the world, which, you know, is right up there, isn't it, in terms of world badminton. Very, very good. 403 highest ranking in the men's doubles, but certainly not known for his doubles skills.
Nope. I can't remember seeing him play a competitive doubles game, even though he was very good to train with at doubles because of his power and his smash. Really great to play doubles with in training.
Oh, what a mess. It was there to just tap into the open court. Went for an enormous round the head smash.
10,
and maybe that's why he stuck to the singles. That was more of a doubles round the head kill.
Yep, wipe the court.
It was. He always commits fully after the smash, really steaming into the net, looking for the kill. Is a really good quality shot he possesses. Often uses slicers on those kills to take a little bit of pace out. As Parsons just has the court mopped on his side, diving to retrieve Andrew Smith's smash there.
Now, why they just mopped the court, I noticed at the start of the game, while they were just getting ready, Nathan, that Sam Parsons wears a heart rate monitor
10,
under his shirt.
9.
Why would you think he'd wear that during a match?
It's something that we were often
11,
given
9,
in training,
interval.
and we would wear them for the whole week, even resting, sleeping, just so coaches could get an idea of all the activity we're doing and where we were using our energy. But to wear it for a final, I'm not exactly sure the benefits of that, because we know he's going to play as hard as he can. So whether it's something they've been working on in training at a certain heart rate level, to be honest, I'm not sure. It'd be a great question to ask Steve Butler as why they're doing this after the match.
Would you become a little bit concerned if your heart rate had gone up to 200 beats per minute during a rally?
I would be very concerned sitting here in the commentary box if my heart rate went up to 200, Anthony, yes.
20 seconds.
So it's Parsons that leads. 8 minutes been played, it's 11-9. Smith not really settled into his game. Parsons taking advantage of the errors.
11-9. Play.
Another error from Smith.
12.
Not quite as bad as last night, but almost a little bit like the way he started that semi-final, Nathan Smith.
He did start a lot of mistakes, a lot of easy points. He started this final well. Parsons has fought his way back in. Currently leading. And really looking the more aggressive player on court now, moving Smith around the court. And he's taking his chance to attack the shuttle as well, Parsons. Again, the round the head corner. Straight down the line with the smash.
Service over. 10.
And a rare
13.
error from Parsons. 10-13.
Now for Andrew Smith, he's been an Olympian, he's been in the England team, we've played alongside him in England competitive matches. He's here in the national final. There's a chance he could become national champion, but he's not in the England setup, and it's very unlikely that he'd be invited back into the England setup, even though he was national champion.
10.
So what does the future hold if he is national champion for Andrew Smith?
Well, first of all, I don't think he would ever want to go back to Milton Keynes. You know, he is a bit of a free-range kind of player. He wants to be on his own. You know, he's travelled around the world with Dave Hunt, his former coach, and they just like to do things the way they like to do them. You know,
15,
they don't want to conform
10.
to, you know, the national regime, and that's of course up to them. But in many ways, has that held him back over the years? to not hit the real heights that he perhaps could have done.
I certainly think he had his best results while he was involved in the England team. Maybe he wasn't in the England training setup every single day, but he was in the England team. He was around the England camp more often and he was more settled. But for someone like Sam Parsons, a really young, talented player with all his future ahead of him, he would benefit from playing the likes of Andrew Smith and, you know, his clean, crisp, big hitting style more often.
Well, it can't harm to play some of the best players, absolutely. But Sam Parsons obviously got to do the right thing for himself as well. Got a great coach in Steve Butler up at Coventry. That lands good as well.
Out.
Well, I think we've had a correction.
13,
Smith looked straight at the umpire as soon as that call was made. It is the line that the umpire is sitting down. The correction was made.
Let's have a look again, Nathan. He was very tight.
I'm saying out.
13-15. That's good placement again. Down the forehand side.
Service over.
That really looks like one of his strongest
13.
areas, that athleticism, jumping around the head into the backhand corner, smashing straight down the line often.
And that's wide again. Just going for it too early
17
for me,
13.
Andrew Smith. Parsons just needs the 4 points to take this opening game. Another error at the net.
I like the way Sam Parsons is celebrating every point. He's really... We said that about him last year. One of his, you know, his real strong points was his fighting ability, the way he really digs in, maybe gets to opponents, the way he celebrates every single point. But that's what the top level players do now. They don't let up for any amount of the game.
And the short backhand clear from Parsons, put away comfortably
Service
by
over.
Smith.
14-18. Thank you,
And I
Andrew.
still don't think we've seen Andrew Smith at his top level. There's many more gears to come if he can actually produce them here in the final.
He found it in the semi-final. We saw a completely different speed of play by Smith in the second and third game last night. But he won't be pressing the panic buttons yet.
And that lands on the line.
Service over. 19-14.
No, he's not a player that seems to get angry with himself. Certainly doesn't panic. And just seems to be able to turn that switch. Maybe we'll see that. He's certainly not going to take this opening game. Another error.
20.
Parsons now has
Game point.
6 game
14.
points. And a well-deserved 1-0 lead.
Game.
That's wide, and it is the 18, 19-year-old from Coventry that takes the opening game. Sam Parsons, the
First game won
two-time
by
junior
Sam
national
Parsons.
champion,
21-14.
runner-up in last year's final, who takes the opening game. And it was good, consistent play from him that brought him to that first game.
It certainly was. Smith jumped out to the early lead, 5-1, but Parsons reeled him back. Consistency, great attacking around the head as well by Parsons. He had a bit of everything in that first game. Only a quick word by his coach Steve Butler there. Not a lot to say. Game plan working, I would say, for Parsons and Butler right now.
Now will we see what happened yesterday in the semi-final when Andrew Smith came out at a different player altogether. See, I would have been thinking that Steve Butler probably would have watched last night's semi-final, and the tactics now would be for Parsons, just watch out to see what he's going to do.
I saw Steve Butler, his coach, watching that semi-final that Andrew Smith was involved in. We talked that he can switch up gears quickly, but we're also aware, and we know from the past, that if Parsons really stays strong, gets out to a lead here, that Smith could also switch the other way and actually become real down on himself, a little bit downhearted. So the first 7-8 points of this second game, vital.
Service over. 1 love.
Well, it certainly looked like he stepped the gear up a little bit there, only to take the shuttle much earlier at the net. The right idea by Parsons, but it was a good tight spinning net shot from Andrew Smith. It's a great defence. And then a great attack cross from Parsons. Brilliant play all round.
Men's singles at its very best. He looked out the rally. Smith, big smash down the forehand side. Parsons with the diving defence, straight up on the attack. Fantastic cross-court forehand winner. That sort of singles, Anthony, we didn't see that 15, 20 years ago. You know, men's singles, diving on the floor to smash, dive, jumping straight back up into a jump smash. Incredible athleticism.
Well, certainly brought in with the likes of players of Lindan and Lee Chong-wei, you know, practicing these dives, springing up. You must have incredible body strength to be able to spring back up and then hit the jump smashes.
Indeed, we take it as the normal now, seeing players do it on a regular basis, but we have to remember what incredible physical attributes you've got to dive on the floor. You know, they almost do a press-up, jump back-up position. Physically so hard, and Parsons working the rallies really well again, fighting his way back into a lead in the second game.
3-2.
Well, Parsons just possesses that never say die attitude. You are not going to smash on the floor is definitely one of his tactics. I actually think that's frustrating Smith. Well, that's a good anticipation at the net from Parsons. Saw the double action from Smith.
4-2.
Parsons looking strong. Actually thought he might make a bigger impact around the European circuit this season, the senior circuit, after his sort of breakthrough into the Nationals final last year, but he's struggled a little bit around Europe against the more seasoned players.
Well, he broke a string on that smash. Fortunate for him, the shuttle went wide off Smith's racket. But what's interesting, Nathan, in badminton is that here we are with a junior national champion, great prospect for the future, but takes time. You know, I think I've heard the phrase, I'm going to take a year out, see how I get on, see how I can improve into the world scene. 1 year, just completely unrealistic. Maybe 5 years is probably closer to the mark.
It is. It's a long road, really, to be what we consider world class. We talk about the Adcocks now establishing themselves as world class, and it's took them years. It's took them until they're 24, 25. And Sam Parsons, it will take him time as well. You have to be a real unique talent, a sort of Victor Axelsen from Denmark who comes through, and he's the best in the world as a junior as well.
Good early net play from Smith. After 19 minutes, it was Parsons that took the opening game 21-14, and he leads 3-6. Can Andy Smith find that gear that he found yesterday? And with smashes like that, yes he can. Incredible power and accuracy.
4-6.
Just starting to wind up the speed now, Andrew Smith. Parsons going to have to be careful.
Yes, come on. Come on.
And another mistake on the
Service
net
over.
from Smith.
7-4.
Like we talked about Fontaine Chapman earlier in the previous match, not willing to play those slightly looser shots. Oh, that's great skills from Sam Parsons. The net cord, net shot.
4.
Well, both players played spinning net shots there, both face to face at each other, and it's Parsons with a celebration as he takes the lead. A short serve though, that time by Parsons is put away by Smith. And we do have to mention
5,
England and
8.
UK #1 Rajiv Youssef, for those tuning in who are expecting to see Youssef. He didn't have a shock defeat in these championships. He didn't make it, unfortunately, to the starting line through
over.
injury.
9-5.
Yep, Rajiv Youssef getting a bit of a hip injury that doesn't allow him to play. Obviously, he was the clear favourite to take the title once more. That would have given him 8 titles on the trot.
Service over. 6-9.
However, he's not here. So it gave the opportunity to allow another national champion. 6-9.
And because of his dominance, we are certain, and were certain this year, to see a brand new national men's singles champion. Youssef dominating for so many years.
Service over.
It'll be the first
10,
for either Parsons
6.
or Smith.
That's a bit short. Good defence again from Parsons. And that going long.
11-6.
So the
Interval.
midway point in the second game, it's Parsons that has a 5-point lead. 11-6, he's leading.
You see the celebration there, straight to the coaching team. He knows that this lead is vital. Can he break the spirit of Andrew Smith early now as they come out? I only think it might take 2 or 3 points. And Parsons may well be on his way to his first national title.
Certainly looking good, certainly looking ready. Ready for the war. You can see when he's defending, his legs are so ready and low. That low centre of gravity that enables him to get those shots back. He just looks willing to work
20
harder
seconds.
than Smith.
20 seconds.
He has a bigger work ethic. That's his game. He's lower. He looks solid on defence. Talked about his low centre of gravity being one of his strong points. But for 19 years old, we've got to credit his mentality here. He's looking strong,
6.
and he's looking like he's more hungry and wants it more.
Well, that's crisp and sharp from Smith. Great timing overhead, flick of the wrist.
Service over. 7.
And a great
11.
cross-court winner. He's still 4 points behind. Can't afford the mistakes, and that's very short indeed. And those don't come back when Andrew Smith hits those.
Just the start to the second half of this second game. Smith would have been looking for coming out from the break. 2 points, 2 jump smashes
11.
onto the floor. Great elevation. He's back in the game.
Make that 3. Oh, it's just gone wide, sorry. Smith not happy.
Service over.
Smacks
12,
the net with his racket in
8.
disgust. Should have been 3 out of 3. Needs a timeout.
Quickly, please.
Well, he just missed it in frustration, hitting the net.
Well, that's brilliant from Parsons. The Wusso shout.
13.
It was good.
8.
Very good kill.
Well, technically fantastic at the net, leaping in, and he's actually brushed across the shuttle sideways. See him jumping in. There goes the brush. The racket finishes across the body.
And a good placement down the middle on the smash from Parsons. It's a great lead now. 6 points
14,
restored.
8.
14-8. The 19-year-old on his way. It's a little bit too ambitious. Off balance.
Service over.
Not in the right position.
9-14.
At what stage, Anthony, in this second game, are the nerves going to hit Parsons? They're sure to hit, looking for his first national title.
Well, I think with having a 5-6 point lead, it won't be quite so bad. But if Smith can get back to within 2 or 3, it would definitely make a difference. But it's Parsons with another smash down the line.
Service over.
15-9 now.
15-9.
And is this Andrew Smith's last chance at a national title? We didn't expect to see him ever at a nationals again after sort of 5-6 years ago. He came back this year. He's in the final. He was favourite. Is he going to come back if he doesn't have success here?
And that's gone long as well. Well, it's hard to think that he is going to come back,
16-9.
but you never know. He's here this year. But for how much longer? 16-9. 26 minutes been played. This time Parsons blocks
Service
just
over.
outside.
10-16.
Can Smith claw his way back into the match?
Well, Parsons looks hungry in his eyes. He looks like he's got the title in his eyes. Can he get to the finish line though? Smith is going to make it as hard as he can. Another smash. I think he's going to have to smash his way back into this game.
Change of shuttle required, so therefore the shuttle will be flying a little bit faster with a new crisp shuttle. Wow, that's a poor block. No power on
Service
the
over.
smash, but that's maybe what puts him off.
11.
The half smash down the middle. 17-11. Parsons just requires 4. That's early at the net. That's great placement. What a smash. Great angles. Great athleticism. Just 3 now for the title.
He looks the quicker player.
18,
He's moving fast.
11.
He's being aggressive. Tight net play. Up to the smash. And he's early on the net there as well. Again, tight serve. The cross-court net by Smith.
11.
And it's Parsons. He's only 2 points away from turning junior national title into senior national title. Just drifted wide on the clear.
12, 19.
Slight reprieve for Andrew Smith. I'm not sure there's much fight left in the man from Hampshire.
Fault. 13,
Aggressive
19.
Parsons again. This time the referee calls. And there's a judge that Parsons' racket had just travelled over the net. So hard for the umpire, these ones. 13-19. 2 points clawed back. Well, Parsons looks to the umpire for the same call. The other way around, doesn't get it.
14,
Smith with the kill.
19, yes.
Leaping in on the backhand side. And those last 3 points, just putting an element of doubt in young Sam Parsons' mind.
So,
Just asking for the court to be mopped. A little bit of perspiration. I think that may be more. Just to refocus. Look to get these last 2 points for the title.
thank you, Sam. Fourteen, 19.
Oh, great defence by Smith, and suddenly he was trailing 19-11. Suddenly the consistency's
15,
returned, the shot
19.
quality. The lead that was 8 is now 4. The door's slightly ajar for Smith to come back. And that one has landed on the line,
16,
sitting
19.
right down over that line. The shuttle landed plumb on it. The alarm bells will be ringing for the 19-year-old now. The gap down to 3. The mistake, though, the story of the game
Service
by
over.
Smith.
20, match point
20,
16.
16, Parsons with 4 national championship points. And the shuttle's gone long by Smith. Sam Parsons is the 2015 National Men's Singles Champion. A fantastic performance from the 19-year-old from Coventry. The 2-time junior champion has turned that into a senior title as he celebrates with former England legend Steve Butler. Last year a runner-up, Sam Parsons is now the champion of England.
Match won by Sam Parsons, 21-14.
Well, the final point. Parsons on the attack, looking to get that opportunity to smash. The lift by Smith. You can see the look in Parsons' eyes. The moment it hit the floor, the realisation he is national champion. What a fantastic performance. And I pass you down to Anthony Clark, who is with our new champion.
Sam, 2 times under-19 national junior champion, finalist last year at the national champions, and here we are at 19 years old, and you're the national champion for the first time. You must be incredibly proud.
Yeah, I'm really proud. Just delighted at the moment. I never thought I'd make it through, even through to the final, so I'm really happy that I managed to take that win. But I couldn't have done it without the help of Steve behind my court and my brother as well, so it's really good.
Just talking about Steve, he got to 3 national finals, unfortunately didn't manage to win one. 22 years ago in Crawley, was in the final. Here you are now in Crawley, and you've got the title. Bragging rights at home?
Yeah, I'm definitely the better. No, I'm not really. Yeah, no, Steve was an incredible player, but to beat him is just well, I'm happy. I'm king of the family.
King of the family. You heard it here. But going back to that final last year, you actually said to me that you still couldn't beat Steve in training. Can you beat him now?
Yeah, I'm starting to beat him now. He's having to have a start in training now, 5-love start, but I think that's might have helped me with my match play because it's different situation when you're in a match. If you're 5-love down, then you've got to try and come back, and I think that's what made me have a much better start here than last year. So.
It was an incredibly consistent performance for a 19-year-old. Is that something that you and Steve worked particularly hard on?
Yeah, we work a lot on physical and just keeping the shuttle in and over and not always going for the outcome of the rally, letting them make the error or the winner, because against a shot player like Andy, he's really good with his shots, but if you can get his good shots back, then that might put a bit of doubt in their mind. So.
And just your thoughts for the future now. Where do you go from here?
Looking to try and make it into the top 10 in the world badminton. So hopefully just keep training hard, keep pushing hard, and get my name out there and get winning some tournaments, hopefully.
Well, you heard it. He wants to be in the top 10. We're all behind you, Sam. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2015 men's singles champion, Sam Parsons.
So it's Sam Parsons who is the champion this year here at the K2 Crawley, taking the title with a fantastic win over Andrew Smith. 2 finals remain. Next up will be the women's doubles, Olver and Smith versus Moore and Williams, followed by the big finale, the men's doubles, Ellis and Langridge versus Nottingham and Towler.
and gentlemen, please welcome to court the presentation party for the men's singles event. Presenting the medals are Derek Webb, President of Sussex County Badminton Association, and Mr. Jeff Rofe, President of Badminton England.
And as we just await the presentation party onto court for the two finalists
to our
to receive their runners-up and champions trophies.
Mr. Andrew Smith. And Jeff Rofe now presenting the gold medal and trophy to our English National Badminton Championships 2015 men's singles champion, Mr. Sam Parsons.
Be the realest shit I ever wrote. Off the records, no cameras, forget a quote. Some of my family doing good, most doing do. I'm from Virginia where they hang them by ropes. I used to see my mama getting.
So as we see an emotional Sam Parsons there receive the National Championships trophy. Join us after the break where we'll have more live action from the English National Badminton Championships 2015 with the women's doubles.